from the root of evil. Money trees grew from the root of evil.
Welcome back to the nightmare of a playthrough that is Dragon Quest X. Xing out your life, Xing out the world for a little bit of grinding. Today on the solo quest, we are doing another one of the Alliance. We're in the Alliance playlist because I have an alliance with my own demise. Being so that today we have to do the whole demise quest, as you will. Now bear with me for this one, guys. I will be doing a lot of story spoilers, a lot of MMO talk. If you don't like that, then I don't know why you're here in the first place. But you know, we'll get to the rambles and the anecdotals and the analogies soon. But let me get you guys indicted into the Dream World quest here. So much like the mythology, like we did last time, the Dream World Quest are a series of things that you must do before fighting the super boss with all your friends. It's about 4 hours long, give or take, you know, if you don't skip all the cutscenes. And essentially it involves dispelling the nightmares from the townsfolk people in it. You're also dealing with the Blood Gang, who are dedicated to our big and bad Nokturnus. Now, a couple of things about Nokturnus. He is one of the, once again, staple super bosses of the Dragon Quest series. I believe he appeared around 6 or 7. I know he was in 7, but I don't really know if he was in the games before that so much. And he reappears quite a couple times. His most notable super boss fight was in 9, because in 9 he's a bitch. But yeah, he's been on a lot of Dragon Quest. It's a very, very stapled boss, and the lore behind him goes is why he's in so many places is because he is like the Freddy Krueger of Dragon Quest. He, wherever anybody with dreams exists, you know, he has to be there too, to thwart, to corrupt, to disembowel the hopes that we have for our future, because that is the Nokturnus way, and he is trying to usurp power over here in a good old Gran Zadora by taking over the dreams of random citizens. And so we are basically just collecting things to soothe him, and then, you know, we also get trapped in, and then a lot of the quest line here is us actually trying to dispel our own curses, you know, figure out who's doing this, try and find a way to truly defeat him. And doing all this, we grow closer to ourselves, our you know, whatever race you chose in this game, your past race ends up helping you a lot, you know, continuing on the whole Dragon Quest analogy of the reincarnation of giving it to the next generation, the one for all stereotypes, right? So gameplay wise for this first quest, and for a lot of them basically, what we're gonna do is basically just go to a random spot, collect a thing, then come back, and then you like fight usually members of the Blood Gang in some way. And these are all boss fights that are pretty easy, but I imagine, you know, doing them solo, or, you know, back in the day when the level cap was lower, they were quite fun, challenging battles. But once again, they don't really change the difficulty to fit the level of customization, the level of builds that you can have nowadays with everything added on, you know, master traits and extra equipment slots and all. So what we have here is just a basic series of bullshits that you have to go through. It's really funny because how the monetization generally works in this game is that they don't really give you power, they give you shortcuts to it, and one of the shortcuts actually is just being able to complete quests. So I believe you can buy a pass of some sort, and you can just, you know, sweep through and complete all these quests at once, so you can, you know, go around, have fun, and fight with your friends and whatnot. But of course, I do like the slow runs. This will be my, I think this will be my second time doing these quests here as I record it. And they are a good time, you know, just grinding out, learning more things about the enemies and traveling around the version 2 areas, because as much as I do hate version 2, I do like the areas. I just wish they didn't like make you go through them essentially twice in like a similar story fashion, you know. Of course they changed the story slightly, but you know, you get similar characters, similar bosses and areas, and it gets a little like, oh my god, what are we doing here? Especially to be so early on the game. It's like, oh no, we've run out of content. But I really appreciate looking back and taking into perspective where the game has come from there. Because if you think about it, Dragon Quest has been consistent with its updates for basically the entire time it's been released. Unlike, Final Fantasy XIV, which, goes offline, and it's offline, it's got hiatus or whatever. And I think a lot of the reason why was probably because they took a sort of lenient approach with the first couple of versions and just really got the foundation good and figured out what they wanted to make as far as gameplay wise before they decided to branch out and just add a bunch of shit, because everybody loves content. You like content, give them more content, give the people what they want. So I appreciate that. But yes, this is a relatively early on extra content that they added. I believe they added this version 3 or so. Version 3 or like one of the end of version 2 is when you could do this. And I believe it shows. These are some pretty high quality cutscenes that we're going to get into. Now, of course, there are a lot of reused ones during this whole sequence, but a lot of the cutscenes are very high quality. A lot of the enemies and variety in the areas is pretty cool, and you actually get a pretty long like boss sequence, if you will, that you can travel around and do with your party. It's pretty cool, customizable cutscene that you can run through with whatever party you'd like. And then, of course, I love the ability to solo it with your own party, your own members, all that fun stuff. You can take your pets and have a grand old time. So that is indeed what we will be doing here. I will probably use different footage for the final battle, because I did try it with this specific team that I have here with the Waka. Didn't go well on recording, but I did it on stream. I believe it was a couple of days ago from recording this, but it will definitely be far back from when I upload this. So if you're looking for that, I will probably link it in the description. If I want to say off the top of my head, it was probably like 52. But it was the Calamity Reacts one where we just chilled out, hung out, and defeated the super boss here. So that's about it for the gameplay and the story. There's a little bit more nuances here, but we're essentially just trying to save ourselves from Nokturnus, trying to save different denizens of Astoltia from Nokturnus, while at the same time learning new spells and things to dispel his influence over Astoltia and whatnot. It's a pretty cool quest. It's a pretty cool quest. Fun times. It leads you a good deal around the Lindersia maps, which is why I think it's a version 2 one, but I really don't know. And yeah, I hope you enjoy this journey with me. But I am calling this, I think we're gonna call this Nokturnus Quest Numb to Nightmares, or something like that, because I feel like that is generally why someone like Nokturnus has to exist. In essence, it's like we all don't understand what the American dream cost, Nokturnus is something that reminds us that it's not all gumdrops and rainbows from here. We have to work hard, harder than hard, to dispel the evil that, essentially is always going to come as long as you have hope. And I've noticed this more and more the more I try to lock in, and the more things like small things like this channel and different projects and whatever I'm working on, whenever I start to lock in and get progress in that, literally everything decides to take me away from it. And this is why for a lot of people, I can't suggest this for everyone, because some people really do need the sustenance from others to grow and prosper, and that's like their goon, okay? My goon is not with other people. I have to literally put my phone on do not disturb many a times, because I just can't fucking be bothered. And maybe that's you, maybe it's not, but realize what you need to do for your own sake, because nobody else will help you. It is a dirty world. And look at that, as I'm finishing recording this, I'm getting random freaking calls on my phone right now that I need to put on do not disturb. But indeed, my food is coming soon. I do appreciate you guys for liking and enjoying the videos and the streams. I am just a vessel. I love making it. I love the moments, and that is all I need to love. to continue on. And I want you to realize that as well, man. A lot of things in this world will pull us in unnecessary directions. You know, you don't need to be here, you don't need to be there, you just need to be right here. Where is right here? It's where you are in this moment. You know, if you're having fun doing it, then keep doing it. I think we forget the main rule of life. The main story quest of life is to survive, because we are one of the few creatures on Earth with the ability to think about thinking. And this is something that can be good. It can be good, but all the time thinking about every single eye on you and every single prospect and every single guy with evil intentions on you is not going to help you, because you can't reach into their minds and beat the shit out of them, okay? You can reach into your mind and beat the shit out of yourself, but that helps no one, right? So let's do something that actually builds towards something that'll help us, you know, fight the actual threats that are coming in the future, instead of invisible ones that we are creating right now. The moment is all we have, my friends. And sadly, nobody's gonna respect you unless you waste your time efficiently. All right, yeah, that is a dog calling, because there are people ready to give me food. I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you next time.